Mavs at the Lakers tonight on ESPN, which means LeBron versus Kyrie Irving. And since they split up in Cleveland, LeBron is 11-4 all time against his former teammate. Meanwhile, Irving, he's been on fire this month. He's averaging almost 32 a game. And Ramona Shelburne, she penned a story. It's up on ESPN.com right now. It's entitled LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and the choice that still haunts the Lakers. And here's what she writes. She writes that for a year, the Lakers had extended internal discussions about whether or not to pursue Kyrie Irving in a trade. Obviously, that did not come to fruition, or in free agency as well. But, Mike, do you think the Lakers should regret not pursuing Kyrie Irving in the offseason harder?
You look back at a sweep, and you can have all kinds of regrets. I was with LeBron and asked him about it on camera that day. I'm starting to rethink this a little bit. Again, when you see a team get swept, you say, okay, what else could have made a difference here? Do I think that would have enabled the Lakers to beat Denver? Seriously, no. And so if that's not going to be the case, re-signing him is another situation. Could you have plugged him in last year and gotten another step from the Lakers? Gotten past Denver? No. So I'm still going to say no, Malika, but I'm rethinking it. I'm reconsidering.
Only smiling because you know who was sitting courtside at one of the games in that sweep, front and center, made sure to be seen in front of all the cameras, was Kyrie Irving. And no one does that without, wanting to send some sort of message, Zach.
Well, look, we're talking about this today when the Lakers are struggling and Kyrie is going bananas for the Mavericks and playing really, really great basketball and playing consistently.
Does bananas get a shimmy like
PG?
Yeah, exactly.
In a month, the landscape may change in a way that changes how we talk about this subject. So, I can't really get fired up about it, especially because what's kind of unsaid is that the Lakers could only have opened up, I checked with Bobby Marks, $36 million in cap space last summer, which is less than Kyrie is earning with the Mavericks. And to do that, it would have been LeBron, AD, and nothing. No draft picks, no Jared Vanderbilt, no Hood Schifino, no Max Christie, no Austin Reeves cap hold, nothing. So a trade last season is one thing. And if you're talking about offseason free agency, it's a harder choice than I think people may realize that it was.
It's very easy now to look back and say what they should have done.
Yeah, hindsight, 2020.
I mean, we questioned the Kyrie trade when they re-signed him. They're like, is it going to work? Because we didn't see enough last year that garnered. Last year they had a very disappointing season. Everybody questioned whether they could even have anything this year. They've come out to a great start. Kyrie's thriving now. So it's very easy for us to kind of pick this apart. Would I like to see Kyrie back with LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Yeah, that'd be a heck of a team. Do I think they could compete with Denver and Clippers and the likes of the Suns? Absolutely. It's a stars league. I always feel like if you start with the top, you can find ways to fill in the in-between. It might not be as a well-rounded team as you like. They might not be a deep team. But, my God, what I've seen that guy do, and Richard, you know better than anybody. You played with Kyrie. You played with LeBron. Like the success that they've had together, you add Anthony Davis to the mix. Yeah, that's something to think about.
I understand why you would want that. LeBron, Kyrie, these guys, they've proven they can win. But don't forget, like Zach said, you were going to strip the rest of the roster.
Yeah.
Now, you go back and look at the success that they had. They had those guys, and they had a loaded roster around them.
Ooh.
So it's like, well, I'm saying it's like you're going to lose the JR. You're going to lose the Tristan. You're going to lose those players that they won the championship with when we're talking about when they had success in Cleveland. So that's my only thing.
Right.
You put those three guys, and then you have a stripped-down roster, it's just a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder. That's all it's down to.
Well, but if you talk to folks, and it's interesting because particularly now when you talk to folks around the league, Zach, the discussion around the Los Angeles Lakers is whether or not there could be some movement in terms of looking to add depth to the point guard position. And I know that's very different than Kyrie Irving.
The roster now.
So the Suns had a 99.9% chance to lose this game in the fourth quarter. That's according to ESPN's win probability. By my math, that is a 0.01% chance to win. So you're telling me they had a chance?
Good math there, Malika.
Thank you. It was not my strongest suit. English I was great at. So let's pick this up in the aforementioned fourth quarter. The Kings with a sizable lead here. The Phoenix Suns looking to chip into it. You want that guy on your team if you're going to do so.
If you have Kevin Durant, then it's never a 0% chance. That's really what it is.
If you have Kevin Durant, there's always a chance. Once again, he proves it with this, chipping into that lead. The Kings going on the attack, not so fast. Grayson Allen getting out in transition. All of a sudden, Bradley Beal and the Suns' big three starting to take shape here, Zach.
How about 9 threes for Grayson Allen? Forget the big three. Big four, Grayson Allen.
Well, making both plays.
Well, Devin Booker hands it back to Kevin Durant for the three. Yes, sir, you bet. 4-point game at this point, thanks to that three. And then watch this here.
Eric Gordon. Look, Eric Gordon and Grayson Allen, those are the two. Like, we talk about the big three, but it's those two. Eric Gordon gets wide open, butt naked threes in the corner. Yes.
And he's always going to shoot. Eric Gordon's always going to shoot, no matter who's on his team.
All of a sudden, the game's all tied up. Kevin Durant, that one doesn't go.
No laptop today.
No laptop in this one. And then the Kings inbounding with 1.1 left here, right? Malik Monk puts it up with a prayer. No good. Suns win 119.
1.6 seconds.
117. Hey, Kevin Durant.
1 point.
What happened?
How did the other y'all win this game?
I have no clue. I usually know how the game is flowing, but I felt like this was a blur. I feel like I looked up, we was down 6, and I look up again, it's a tie game, you know? So everything happened so fast. I guess we all were in the zone and just locked in. And it's still crazy that we end up finishing that game the way we did. And we've been the worst fourth quarter team. And I feel like the history of the game, and tonight we come back. It's crazy how life works.
All right, Austin, Richard, let's break this one down since Richard is back with us in studio here. The Suns, they went small down the stretch, right? They used Durant at center with Booker, Beal, and Allen and Gordon as well. So the Suns, they finished the game on a 32-8 run in the final 8:15 of the game to win it all. This was the largest comeback in the fourth quarter since the Thunder against the Heat in the 2020 bubble. So, Richard, what did you see on the offensive end in this one?
You know this. They were about 90 seconds away from pulling their guys out. Calling it 90 seconds. So as much as we want to talk about the last 8 minutes, they were 90 seconds. But it's the spacing that you get with the amount of shooters. Grayson Allen, 9 threes. Look, he's underneath. He's trying to find. Look, okay, Sacramento Kings, they collapse. You can't do that. You can't collapse on the Warriors. You can't collapse on the Suns. Just like an offensive rebound. Move, move, move. Wide open shot. And they have so many guys that can knock this down. So again here, up by 3. You don't need to be scrambling. Protect the three-point line. You got Eric Gordon pointing to Kevin Durant. Swing, swing. You don't need to scramble. You're up by 3. So there were, as much as this was an amazing comeback by the Phoenix Suns, the Sacramento Kings, woo, that was disgusting.
Well, and that's what I'm curious about. I'm not sure I was going to go as far as disgusting, but how did this Suns lineup affect the Kings?
On defense, let's talk about switching. They made it incredibly difficult for the Kings, took them out of their whole offensive flow. What happens is when a team goes small and you put KD at the 5, now everybody starts playing isolation basketball. So it becomes hero basketball. Bad shot after bad shot, ISO play after ISO play. Here we got a simple pick and roll. No, we're switching. Contest, throws a pass, the defense is in. Usually a big is trailing behind the pick and roll. No, now you got the guard. Now we're up, and not a lot of 7-footers can do that when you got Kevin Durant on a fast break, Euro stepping, duck in. Another switch. That is not a good switch. Kevin Durant has length, so now he's shooting a sidestep 3, doesn't foul, and then what happens with good defense? It usually leads to good offense. Pass. Devin Booker's been unselfish all year. You can't leave Kevin Durant open. They made the game more complicated than it needed to be. They started switching. And when you do that, teams can get reliant on ISO basketball.
Well, and that's when he's with the Golden State Warriors. They were already one of the best switching teams with Draymond across the top. Now you had a 7-foot guy that can also space the floor and shoot. So now they were able to switch, and now your defense gets messed up if you're the Sacramento Kings. Your offense is messed up because you can't run the same things. You're not getting the same triggers. All of a sudden, Sabonis is not catching and throwing it out to somebody because everyone's staying at home. And if you don't have deliberate one-on-one play in those moments, which they didn't, then you go flat quick.
Well, and the Suns, their big 3, they got out to a little bit of a shaky start, but if you take a look, the last couple of times that KD, Booker, and Beal, they all suited up, they're scoring at a rate that would be the 3rd best in the league, behind only the Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. So we're calling them a big 3, or are we saying Grayson Allen makes them a big 4? All right.
NBA